Welcome to First Congregational United Church of Christ, Boulder. This is the audio version of the weekly devotional. We hope you will tune in every week to listen to the latest offering written by a member of our congregation. Also, feel free to check out our YouTube channel to watch First Cong's Sunday church services. Thank you.
Walking with God by Nancy Wade. With the annual University of Colorado graduation season behind us, I want to reflect on an experience I had traveling to one of the many CU events which were held on campus about a month ago. But first, a little background. I will spare you from hearing a litany of foot-related ailments. Suffice to say that chronic problems with my feet have compromised my mobility. Over the past 5 or so years, I have tripped or fallen over an uneven curb, on a patch of ice, and on a swimming pool deck. Like almost all of my friends over a certain age, I am aware of the risk of falling, and I take steps to mitigate those risks. I have a state-issued handicap placard that assures close-in parking at many venues. But because I've lived in Boulder for more than 20 years and understand how traffic swells precipitously in and around our city during graduation week, when a friend's daughter was scheduled to graduate with honors from the School of Arts and Sciences on May 9th, I opted not to drive from our home in South Boulder to Mackey Auditorium, only about 3 miles away. Instead, I decided to take the RTD Skip bus from our neighborhood, which travels along Broadway to the corner of Pleasant and Broadway, and then to walk to the auditorium from there. Even with my advanced planning, as the day of the event grew closer, I felt my anxiety level rise. What if I couldn't step up into the bus? What if the bus was so crowded that I had to stand up and steady myself by holding onto a strap? This trip was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, and so I decided to say a little prayer for some help. My prayer was short and sweet. Dear God, please help me navigate the bus ride and walk to Mackey. Please make my trip a safe and secure one. Amen. Even though the ceremony wasn't scheduled to begin until 4 p.m., I left my house at 2:15 for the short walk to the bus stop. I used trekking poles, which helped a great deal. As I set out, I established a slow but steady pace and took deep breaths to calm myself. I activated the bus pass on my phone and carefully walked across a strip of narrow grass to stand next to the RTD sign. Soon the bus pulled up and its door swished open precisely in front of me. Tucking the trekking poles under my left arm, I grabbed the handicap bar with my right hand and hoisted myself up. After scanning my bus pass, I moved slowly down the aisle and lowered myself into a seat. The bus driver did not accelerate the bus or even begin moving until he was sure I was seated. The ride was pleasant, if uneventful. Other passengers entered and exited. As we approached Pleasant Street, I yanked firmly on the cord to alert the driver that I wanted to get off. After the driver pulled over to the curb and came to a complete stop, I made my way to the back of the exit door, passing an older gentleman who spoke softly to me. "Take it slowly," he said, "and be safe." I thanked him and stepped out of the bus onto the sidewalk. I always loved spending time on campus, so I stopped for a moment, breathing in the fresh spring air and looking around. I held on to the trekking poles and began walking toward the auditorium. About halfway there, a golf cart appeared. Its driver pulled up next to me. "May I offer you a ride?" she said with a smile. I gratefully accepted, and soon she was pulling up to the handicap ramp at Mackey Auditorium. It was not quite 2:45, and I had arrived safely. At a little after 3, those of us with compromised mobility were ushered into the building, and I slowly made myself down the aisle to choose a seat in the 8th row. I had a perfect view of the stage. The convocation ceremony was lovely, with over 100 CU graduates stepping forward to walk across the stage and receive their awards. I took lots of photos of my friend's daughter, and after the event, she and her friends walked with me to an adjoining white tent where refreshments were served. Afterwards, I summoned a golf cart, and reversing my route, I arrived safely at home. The prayer I said that day was born of anxiety and uncertainty, but I need not have worried. God, in human form, walked with me every step of the way. From the bus driver who waited until I was seated, to the man encouraging me to be careful, from the driver of the golf cart to the friendly students, God was present. I felt protected and safe as I made my way.